want to talk about how it is that the angels were able to procreate in the days of Noah. Can angels create? Angels can't create. They weren't made with the ability to create. Creation is something that only belongs to our Father, Jehovah. Now, let me get this camera in the right angle because I want to see myself. And creation is an ability of Elohim. It's also something that he's granted his only begotten son. In the book of Genesis, he says, "Let us create man in our image." Let us. It's plural. So that's something he grants to his only begotten son. Now, his only begotten son is called his only begotten son because he's the only son that he begot. When you beget when the Bible says begot, it means someone that comes from your loins. God doesn't have loins, so someone that came from the essence of God. So God begot his son. Now, the devil was not begotten. Well, let's not say the devil because he wasn't created as the devil, but the personage who later became the devil was not begotten of the Father. All the other angels were not begotten of God. The angel Gabriel was not begotten of God because he is a son of God, but he wasn't begotten of God because there's only one begotten son of God, the only begotten son of God. All the other angels came through the begotten son of God. The begotten son of God came through God, and all other things came through the begotten son of God. So all of the sons of God are not begotten by God, but are begotten of both the begotten son of God and God himself. So the angels cannot create, but the only begotten son of God and God himself can create. So now if the angels cannot create, that means they cannot put within themselves reproductive organs, let alone reproductive organs that actually work on humankind. So angels have reproductive organs that were given to them by Elohim, which is why they were able to procreate with humans, females. So also, if they did not have reproductive organs, where did the desire to mate with females come from? For you to disobey God, the person is that you see and know his power, you know his essence, you know what he's about. He's a consuming fire. You know you would be destroyed if you disobey him. And so you disobey him without a desire to disobey him. You just want to come and sleep with the women on the earth just because? No, you had a desire to do so, and you took more. Your desire overshadowed your desire for females. Overshadowed your desire to obey Elohim. So they were created with a desire to mate, but they went ahead of God's plan. How do we know this? Well, God, again, let me readjust this camera because I can see when the camera gets out of focus. And like I said, I want to see myself. Everybody wants to see themselves, don't they? That's why we look in the mirror all the time. I'm just being honest. God rested on the seventh day. What form of rest did God have? It's not a rest from work, because when God's son came to the earth, he said, "My Father has always been working, and I keep working even up until now." So God did not rest from work. So what did he rest on the seventh day from? He rested from creation. He was creating the light. He was creating animals. He was creating man with the help of his son. That's why his son is called the master worker of God. Right? God doesn't make his son and let his son just stand there watching him do everything. No, they work together. That's common sense. Father and son working together. So God rested from creation, but he's always been working because the universe cannot function without God's backing it up. And so he rested from creation. So if he's created his sons with a desire to mate, and their desire to mate was not to be fulfilled by females on earth, then what is it to be fulfilled by? There aren't any females in heaven. So when God rested, of course, when you rest, it didn't say he stopped, it said he rested. When you rest, what do you intend to do? Continue at a later date. Now, because of imperfection and the rebellion of the devil, obviously now that creation has been put on hold. Or has it? I mean, we haven't really passed that resting period of God anyway, but that's a different subject. So when God is going to create again, and so if he's created his sons with the ability to mate, then he's going to give them something that they can, create women that they can mate with, but not the women on the earth. So the ones who rebelled against God and mated with the females on the earth, they went ahead of God's plan, and they didn't exercise self-control. Right? So we know also that the angels have reproductive system because the cherubim, it said they have wings covering their legs. Now, why would you need to cover your legs? The proper translation basically is covering their reproductive organs, so they won't be naked. Even the seraphim have 6 wings, 2 of which they use to cover their loins. Okay, so they have reproductive systems fully functioning. Again, now, God gave them their reproductive organs. If those organs were just for show, then it wouldn't have functioned when they disobeyed God to come to the earth to mate with women and actually have children. Hybrid, of course. They were giants, the Nephilim. So those are reproductive organs that actually function. Okay, so angels can procreate, and they have a desire to procreate, which is why they were tempted. If there can't be any temptation if there's no desire, and where would the desire come from if there's no reproductive organs to mate with, right? So that's just a side note that I picked up on, and I mean I could be wrong, but I mean it's just called reasoning from the scriptures, and all logic would just point to the fact that they have reproductive organs, and since God will continue to create in the future, it would make sense that he intends to create womankind in heaven. Is there womankind in heaven right now? Two ways we know there aren't. One is when the Bible always talks about the creatures in heaven, it always says the sons of God or the sons of the true God. Okay, so, and second, if there are women in heaven, why would the angels be tempted to sleep with women on the earth when there are women in heaven? I mean, disobey Elohim, knowing you will be destroyed, to come and sleep with females on the earth when there are females in heaven?